Hey guys, Smoking Label. My friend here, LK Quinn. I'm not going to get used to calling you that, Linda. I'll tell you that now, right? But
No, you
I
can, you
understand.
can, you can, yeah, you can say Linda Quinn, but
Linda Quinn to me then. Now, Linda's going to do for part two now, the Readers Extras podcast, two extracts from the novel. So over to you, my friend. Take it away.
Chapter 18. Abracadabra. Mum is walking to the pub with me. She said to Dad, I couldn't walk on my own. It was too late. Oh, fucking hell. I'm not really swearing, not saying it out, just in my mind. I can't help it. Oh, fucking hell. It keeps shouting in my head, going on over and over. I'm not saying it. I'm not being too excited, or she'll change her mind. Dad is watching me. I pretend I'm concentrating on reading, but I'm remembering the catalogue numbers for when I have to get to take things to the moon. Fucking hell! Oh, I just want to talk to Mum. Anything. I have to be calm, not a mad bint. If Mum reckons that I want to talk to her, she gets fed up about it. I've noticed it. But if I wait and see what happens, she laughs sometimes, and then you can talk about all sorts. Sometimes, when she's playing her records, she likes it when we make up new words together. And sometimes she sings swear words out loud, and so do I. And she doesn't mind. She laughs. Oh, we get so crackers. Other times, she doesn't laugh much, and you can feel that she is busy inside her mind. It's kind of because of Dad, she's coming with me. He said I had to go and get fags and lemonade from the shop, but Mum said it's too late and only the pubs are open. She's only fucking 10. That's just what she said. So he says, well, she can go to the fucking offie at the fucking pub then. And she says, it's too fucking dark for her to go on no fucking own. Anyway, they won't serve her. I say it quick. If Mum comes with me, I'll carry all the stuff. And she says, okay, okay. And then she sings, April, come she will. And I feel nice because I am April. He says, taking your pocket fucking pills, have you? Fucking pair of mad slappers. He's screwing his finger against his head and sticks his stupid fat tongue out. I say, fucking tough shit, Dad, in my mind. Mum is putting on her blue raincoat and white shiny stilettos. She backcombs her hair a bit and puts on her shiny pink lipstick. She sits in her chair with a compact mirror and she really concentrates. I sit on the arm of the chair and watch. She is rolling her lips inwards and outwards and she blows a kiss to me. She smiles at me. Well, she is smiling her lipstick in the mirror at my reflection. She sits still for a minute when she's finished, just looking in her compact, not smiling or looking at anyone. It's like she's forgotten everything. She's far away. But I can see her. Oh, she's really pretty. She's like a queen. She looks like a lady off the telly who's in the films. Apart from her pointy tooth at the side when she smiles, it's a yellow and black stripe like a bee. She doesn't like smiling very much. She looks like a Hollywood woman when she does. But she puts the back of her hand by her mouth and taps her teeth with her wedding ring, and she does a crazy stare. She said it's a bad habit, but it helps. People get scared and leave you alone if they think you're crazy. I think Mum gets embarrassed. She could be in films if she went to the dentist to fix it. She gets a big, soft brown curls like a doll when she does her rollers. One day, when I get a job, I want to save up and send her for a perm because she said she could do with one. A perm means permanent, which means for all time. I asked my teacher. So it's worth it. Dad says she looks like a fucking slapper when she doesn't do her rollers. I might write to the television place and tell them about my mum when she's been to the dentist. Oh, that will shock Dad. Tonight, Mum is laughing. She's laughing and then she stops and then she laughs again. And I don't know what started it. I think she might be on the booze. She likes having booze before she works at the club. My dad gives her a lift. Most of the time, he stays until Mum has finished her work. But sometimes he comes home and goes to pick her up in the morning after, when it's a long night. I don't care if he does. So what? I can watch TV until the end of it. I like watching some of the things about the moon and the stars. And if it works out, when I'm grown up, there will be cars that can travel to the pub quicker than me just saying it, like, let's go to the pub. And there I am, already there. At least Mum is happy and laughing. And almost as soon as we're out of the door, she grabs my hand. My guts are churning up. I need to hold her hand. It's like I'm on the flipping moon or something. But Mum makes me feel like she's trying to hurt me sometimes. Pick your bloody feet up and stop dreaming, she laughs. And she sneaks a look at me. I walk straight and fast as I can, but she squeezes my hand really tight and twisty. It really hurts. Ow! Sissy, it's just playing. I make my hand forget. It's nice and warm. Mum says it's an Indian summer and it won't last for long. Everything is dying and there are clouds coming, and we close the gate and walk on the soft grass bank to the crossroads. Mum says it's like we live on a hot cross bun. Outside, it's sparkly in the dark. You can see the stars as they fall down from the sky into the fields on the other side of the valley. You can see the lights from the houses and lampposts, and the car headlights make fast flicking shadows as they drive along the valley roads. And because of the moon, you can see the river and the shapes at the end of the land. Actually, I can see the really big cloud coming. Mum was right. She's let go of my hand and she is racing over the crossroads. Her metal on her spiky heels scratch and scrag the road, and I watch the sparks flying from behind into the invisible. Abracadabra! Get a move on, slow coach, she shouts. There's 9 street lamps down the road before the pub. I just counted. They zigzag down the road like monster teeth. I ask Mum if she gets scared on the road, because I do. What crisp flavours have they got? Can I choose? Can we get red pop? Can we make a cake? I mean, on another day. I wanted to tell you, I don't like staying with Dad. He says, will you shut the fuck up? What did he ever say anything good about anybody? Don't be so bloody soft. She stops under a light. She gets her fags and matches out of her pocket. She's trying to strike a light, but the box is squashed and it won't go. She's pissed off with it. But it burst like a star in her hands, and her arm rises like a wing, and she breathes deep and quick and puffs out the smoke rings like windows into bang! She slaps my ear hard. It hurts and I can't think. I stand there. Fucking hell, now look what you've made me do. Oh, darling, don't cry. I didn't mean to. I just thought we'd have a nice walk out of the house, just me and you. Why do you have to go and spoil everything, huh? 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 She's shouting. It's really loud. Mrs. Pierce looked out her window like we're on telly, watching from far away, and then the curtain jerks closed. Mum tries to grab my hand, but I turn away. Sorry, Mum. I'm sorry. I want to show her the good things I can do. Make her proud. I'll make her laugh. I do a cartwheel. And then I just keep going. I'm the best. She's clapping. She's got her fag in her mouth and clapping. Oh, nice one. That's my girl. I do another and another. And I feel a bit sick. And zigzag lights and stars are spinning a bit. But it's all right. I can skip backwards. Look at me, Mum. I can run backwards. She's laughing again now, and I'm running, using her eyes as my mark, a balance trick that we learned in PE. She follows me, smiling and clapping with her fag, bouncing in her mouth until it drops in the road, and she bends down to pick it up. Okay, and that's that extract.
Fantastic, Linda. That was really, you can see with that your acting background flying straight through there. You can.
Oh,
Incredible.
really?
You can. You were almost like you could really come into life for that. Then you were absolutely brilliant. If you ever do an audible version of
Oh,
it,
thank you.
I recommend you do it yourself. Don't employ anybody else to do it, because you've
Oh,
had
well,
it down
thank
to a
you.
T. Then straight away, fantastic.
Oh, but the order, were you reading it like that? Was it easy to read in that
Yeah,
way
it
when you
was.
were
Yeah,
reading it?
yeah. You do like I'm an ex-actor myself, and to do that, it's not a book. I'm one of particular sections like that. I'd want to read it out on the bus like that, so I'd get thrown off the bus probably.
Well, I am going to do the, I'm going to do an Audible book, but that won't be, I think, until the end of the summer.
Yeah,
So
no, definitely do it. So because it's that really, really
thank you.
evocative.
Oh,
That
well,
so
thank you. That means a lot, Andy. I
brilliant
know
stuff
you do a
indeed. So
lot, hear a lot of readings, I know.
does it? It's like you had me hooked in because obviously the camera was knocked off. I was sat there thinking, "Good God!" I thought, "Is she going to read the full book here?" And I thought, "I would have loved it if you had done." So yeah, tremendous, Linda, absolutely brilliant. So okay, yes, folks, that's it for part two of Spoken Label. Now, me and Linda now are going to go and hang out with the kids, aren't we, Linda? We're going to be on to TikTok. Where you're going to read out
Oh,
another extract for us. She's forgotten
oh,
as well.
okay.
She's
Oh, I
forgotten
thought
as
I was
well.
going to read two. I know. I
Oh,
thought I was reading two
oh, you.
extracts for
Sorry,
this.
yes, you were. I thought you finished altogether then.
No, because
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
so
sorry, my
what I've
fault.
had is
Yeah, yes,
no, that's
please do.
okay. You've got another character now who's a different.
Please do then. Do part two here. I want you that. We said that's it. And I thought, oh, hang on. She's done. You said, yeah, I know. It's not ended yet, so we're going to do a part two now.
Okay, thank
Take
you.
it away, Linda. Apologies
Oh,
again.
okay. So this is chapter 22. This, he thought, might be the happiest he'd felt in a long time, striding back across the freshly cut summer grass as it shimmered in early morning dew. This vast stretch of green behind the rectory was rarely used or seen by parishioners, and one of the few places that he had privacy. He felt a sense of magnanimity that he had gifted and so carefully prepared it for the annual church fete today. It had grown long and unruly. He'd initially cut it with a scythe, quickly teasing out the cuttings with the rake before completing his work with the mower and the heavy roller. His arms had ached so much this past week that he'd had to hide his struggle to reach and realign the hussets after services. But now they shivered with pleasure as he leaned into the cool brick wall, his head bowed as he looked out over his glasses. He watched the birds swooping and hopping across the striped lawn, so evenly aligned that they ran before him to a perfectly realized vanishing point. A blackbird crossed the line, searching for worms, finally upturned and pulled a snail from its shell, its cruel but frail claws glistening in the dew. And up above, the sky was peppered with swallows preparing for their long journey home in the coming weeks. The grey, surly skies with their foreboding red streaks illuminated the first blushes of red and yellow in the leaves, and the filigree of their veins seemed to throb with the force of life. How could one doubt the presence and movement in and of God in all things? As he turned back to the house, the first rays of golden light broke and threw a shadow of the house to the side, and the conservatory became a temple, reflecting the magnificence of all that surrounded it, reassembling into a glory of broken colour and meditations, coming to know themselves anew. He stopped just inside the door. The conservatory was full of boxes piled high on every surface, waiting to be unpacked for this afternoon's fete. He could already hear Eunice in the kitchen, preparing for her final bake before she would call him to help with the buttering of bread. Bread that she had baked yesterday afternoon and he had blessed before supper, before they had shared their agape feast with Liz, Jasper, and Fred from the chapel. Of course, the agape was an opportunity to share not only food, but to explore the thoughts that continued their religious experience and the doubts and barriers they came across that challenged them on the long road to Christ. And this year had been particularly troubling with the arrival of the Smart family. On the surface, the problems had been practical and basic. The more disturbing problem was Mrs. Smart's mental health and her drinking habit. They'd all agreed that Mr. Smart had proved to be more able than his prison record suggested. But Eunice said she herself had found the children particularly testing in Bible class, and mainly April, who seemed to lack any proper humility or instinctive obedience. She seemed entirely set on destroying any chances the family had. It was true, they had all agreed. This last act of vandalism on poor Clara's van seemed to place her in the possession of the devil himself. That having found Clara asleep in the garden, or as later discovered, collapsed from a stroke, April had surrounded her with dead flowers, removed her own clothes, and painted the caravan and everything in it completely white, including herself. Despite Fred's reservations, it did indeed suggest some devilishly inspired state. Ezekiel had spoken to the child himself and had not been able to draw anything more from her but tears. As he passed through the conservatory, he firmed the loose soil around a few bases of the twine crosses that April had brought to them a few weeks earlier. The twine crosses that were to provide the stakes for the dormant life beneath the soil. Secretly, he felt the light of the Holy Spirit was in her, and he considered how he might encourage others, and April herself, to see that light burn more brightly. And of course, he reflected, this year had brought Eunice to confront her own secrets. Secrets she had not brought into the light of agape meetings, or even with him, but secrets that remained shrouded in the dark murmurs of furtive prayer that he would fall asleep to as her conversations with the Almighty shuddered along the silent corridors and through the walls to his room at all times of night. That's that section.
That's so different, that one, Linda. Again, it shows you a really good example of a very, very well written book. After one section is really like almost angry and violent almost in the words, and that one's more softer and subtler. So, did you
Oh, but
find,
that,
yeah,
yeah,
did
go
you
on.
find out of interest when you were doing books like this? Because it does vary a lot, the book, I know it does. And you're switching off from one viewpoint, like the anger event, to the more reflective side of it. Did you find it quite difficult to move around?
I think, as I was saying to you, when I was in hospital, I think one of the things when I started writing in earnest was that realize that to me it felt like acting to the page. So as an actress, I always kept diaries for my characters and would do a lot of writing behind the scenes outside of what I was performing. And it was quite interesting to me that um, that write it that voice could become the character themselves, that I could create that thing, because I'd always seen it as a sort of something that went on in the background of someone else's great words, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So so then when I was writing those, keeping these diaries of these people or accounts of a day they'd had together or some scene or something, I was writing what was in their minds as if someone else had written a play and I was just exploring the interiority of those characters. But in fact, actually, I begun to sort of realize that actually I think I was like that. And I think if you grow up in the care system and in and out of it, to have that kind of dialogue, it mainly happens in yourself. You know? I
Yeah.
mean, I think I always imagined, because I read books, I always imagined what other people were thinking rather than said very much. I mean, I was very quiet when I was young, and I think I found it all quite scary. So, it was, and I think that happens to a lot of people actually in the care system. You kind of end up creating your own worlds, your own characters, your own people, and you work things out in that way,
Yeah,
I
no, I
think.
agree. I agree you do is I can understand that from what Amanda's told me in the past, so no. That's what I think makes his book so vivid, really does. So right. Anyway, yeah, that is definitely unless Linda's gonna pull another surprise at me, which I forgot about, which I apologise for. We are now gonna go and hang out with the kids now, and we're gonna do another extract in a moment. So thank you today, Linda. It's been one of my favourite
Oh,
podcasts
well,
for a
thank
while.
you
This
everyone for listening. And thanks again, Andy, and to Amanda.
I know Amanda will look forward to hearing this one. She will, and she's promised me she will be starting on the book shortly because I've just wrapped it up myself. So thank you, Linda. Right, okay,
Okay.
folks, let's move
All
on to
right.
TikTok.
Take care.
Thank you again, Linda. Take care. Right, everybody, follow us on TikTok now, and you'll see a further extract from Linda. So, everybody, as my mate over at Don Callis says over at AEW Wrestling, stay safe and stay over, and we will see you all next time.